Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ben Mitchener. I mean, to be fair, Mrs Wearmouth, I didn't know when I convinced you to turn down 15 million for him that he was going to get the when we then turned down 5 million a few weeks later. I don't know why he's desperate to go to Brighton rather than West Ham or Manchester City either, but he is. Well, yeah, Operation Cheer Up Alex Williams is a go. Hello and welcome to part 70 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Championship. We're at home against Rotherham and away against Coventry. Since you were last with me, we've abandoned the 4-2-3-1 after three very disappointing games, gone back to the 4-2-4 and won lots of games since then. In fact, we've won every game since returning to the 4-2-4. Troy Cannon enjoying being back in the side. He scored twice. I mean, I saw his name a couple of times on there. Tommy Jessup, really enjoying being back, having a strike partner, 7 goals from 8. I'm going to play him on the wing today. I'm going to stop focusing on players because it's making me look like a buffoon. The big news is we did get multiple deadline day offers for Alex Williams and he got in a grumpy that we didn't accept them. The other news is that he then stopped being grumpy like a week ago. So he wasn't grumpy for long, but we now can't get him to agree to a contract. He wants a lot of money, which is understandable, but he's only on £1.50 a week at the moment. You'd think he'd take the 7.5 I was offering him just as a stopgap, knowing he can still force through a move to the Premier League in January or in the summer. But in the meantime, take the cash. He's under contract for the next 4 years, whether he takes the cash or not. There's no release clause. We've already shown we're willing to dig our heels in and keep him. So if it were me in that situation, I'd have taken the 7.5 grand a week I was offered. But clearly, I'm no Alex Williams. We have had a little bit of an injury crisis as well. We've lost Harrison Davies to injury. He's missed almost every game since the last episode. Hamilton's been injured too. Eli Campbell also out injured, as is our backup goalkeeper. So we're going to have a 7-man bench with no goalkeeper on it today. But this is the team for the game against Rotherham. And the man who's benefited most of all from the injury to Harrison Davies is Alec Lay, who has played pretty much every game since then and does not look out of place at all in this back four. He's only 18 years old. And at one point, I think it was in the last game, we had Williams, Lay, we had in the midfield, we had Akani and Curry, Hodgkinson, Stone was in there as well. Connor Roberts was on, Troy Cannon. There were so many youth players on the pitch at one point. It's very exciting times, but Lay is building up a nice little partnership with Joe Barr. It's not a foregone conclusion that Harrison Davies comes back into this side because Harrison Davies was in the team for the 3 games we lost. The 6 games we've then won, he wasn't in the side. It's been Alec Lay. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do when Davies is fully fit. Probably bring Davies back in, but I'm not sure who for. I'm not sure that he's going to be a nailed-on starter. But this is the team for the Rotherham game. We've got Williams in goal, a back four of Hall, Lay, Barr and Brewerton, Curry and Akani in midfield. We've got Jessup and Renan out wide, and then Hodgkinson and Cannon up front. A nice rare... It's not a rare start for Akani. He is playing more and more this season, but we had kind of reverted back to Hodgkinson and Curry as the midfield for a little while, with Cannon and Jessup up front, but with Hamilton picking up a knock. It was a coin flip between moving Renan out onto the left and bringing Hughes into the side, or dropping Jessup out onto the left wing and getting Akani back in to push Hodgkinson further forward. And I figured the one that involved Hodgkinson further forward and Akani getting a start was probably the better one for the long-term development of our players. I'm just checking. I haven't left Hodgkinson on Cannon's pressing forward instruction. I haven't. He's in as a deep lying forward. A lot of pressure on Troy Cannon to get the goals for us today. But if it doesn't come off for him, we've still got Jessup hanging out wide. We can stick him up front for the second half if we need to. Shuffle things around. We're not married to this group of players, but I certainly wanted to give. I am definitely erring towards favouring the younger players when the opportunity presents itself. That's why it's not a foregone conclusion that Davies comes back in, because Barr and Lay, I think, are 18 and 20. Whereas Davies is turning 25 anytime now. So I know 25 is not close to old, but both Barr and Lay have Premier League potential. Harrison Davies has maxed his potential out as a good Championship player. So I think long term, it's Barr and Lay as our two centre-backs. Hodgkinson has just scored his first goal of the season. It's a lovely finish as well. I know there have been a lot of shouts from the comments section for both Renan and Hodgkinson to play up front a little bit more often. I need him a little bit deeper, but that's an example of what we could get if we did play Hodgkinson further forward. He is a good finisher, and that goal, as it stands, moves us up into the playoff mix for the first time this season after 3 straight defeats. Was it 2 defeats and a draw? Might have been 2 defeats and a draw. After a rough start to the season anyway, we are clawing our way back up this league table. I guess it's good for an underdog team like us to be fighting from behind, fighting from underneath as we are, and trying to claw our way back in. We didn't want to be top of the table after 6 games because that just puts a big target on our back. This way, we remain underdogs. An underdog, we always do better as underdogs. Oh my word, what has Williams done there? That might be the first real mistake we've ever seen from Williams in his 100+ games in goal for home. I'm not really sure what he's up to. We'll have a look at it from the other side and try and work out. I'm hoping this is just a weird FM animation thing and it's not an absolute howler. I'm going to keep an eye on the... Didn't even really see it. There's no mention on the commentary at the bottom that it's a massive mistake from Williams. Williams is still showing a 7. So I suspect it was just a weird animation glitch. And it was actually just a cross that he couldn't get to rather than him diving out of the way of the ball coming towards him, which is what it looked like in the match engine. Curry to Hodgkinson, and Curry really sloppy, trying to give it back to Hodgkinson, doesn't get anywhere near him, and he's left us in trouble here. And Barr is chasing across and being dragged out of position, trying to stop the shot getting away, and Jessup getting back and involved in the defence. And then a big ball over the top. Is it Akani who's hit that pass for Cannon? Someone's hit. It might have been Hall who hit the pass. And Troy Cannon's been fouled, and we have a penalty. I'm not sure out of this group of players who's going to take our penalties. Renan, maybe? Is that Renan? That's not Renan. That is Lay. Why on earth is Alec Lay taking a penalty? Doesn't matter. He scored it. Number 56, Alec Lay. He's as good as 2 centre-backs. That's why he wears both the centre-back numbers, number 5 and number 6. Davies took number 4, which traditionally defensive midfielder. I know those of you who are European will say, no. Centre-backs are 4 and 5. Defensive midfielder is 6. Lower League England, defensive midfielder number 4, centre-backs 5 and 6. Alec Lay, proper salt of the earth, lower league centre half. What's that accent? I don't know. I don't know what I was trying to do there. In other news, we played against Blackpool. Actually knocked us out of the Carabao Cup. Bachelorette Pitetta, as Blackpool captain, missed a penalty. He had his penalty saved by Williams, our captain, which I thought was quite a nice moment. But also Marco Wentin, who I didn't even realise had gone to Blackpool, he scored, and the winner was hit by Terrell Whitaker. The only one of our former players who wasn't in the side was Micah Beerith, but Danny Pritchard is currently under offer from Blackpool, and Danny Pritchard might be joining up with Home B or Blackpool, whatever you want to call them. It's definitely our B team. Right, Jerabek is going to come on alongside Curry. We're going to take off Renan as well, and Hughes can come on for him. And then for my final change, we are going to take off Jessup and bring on Tommaso Zebi. I'm getting more of our youngsters involved. This is the big thing for this season. We're playing with a bigger squad. Let's get all of these young players game time, because I think development-wise, they probably develop more from being out on loan and playing 40 games. So because we're keeping them here to keep the squad bigger so that we don't run out of players like we did last year. Lovely finish from Troy Cannon there to make it 3-1. But because we're keeping them here, because we don't want to run out of players again, I do need to focus a little bit more on getting them on the pitch when I can. And the likes of Jerabek, Zebi, Fulton, they've not had a huge amount of game time. They probably have had more game time than they traditionally would get in a Kev team, because I am forcing them into situations like this to make sure they get some game time. And they don't look out of place. None of them look out of place, which is very encouraging. Curry with the corner. Jerabek's actually the one who's under it, but he can't connect. And it's back with Nathan Curry again, who plays it across to Jerabek once again. Those two just knocking the ball back and forth between them. Jerabek to Hodgkinson. Some nice little football there in midfield. Hodgkinson, sloppy, gives it away. But Hughes is there to win the ball back, and it's back with Kieran Hodgkinson again. And now Hughes, he's got an overlap on the right-hand side there. If he wants to use him, he's decided not to. It goes into Zebi, and it's back to Jerebek again. He's certainly not afraid to have time on the football, constantly making himself available. And Troy Cannon is in again, looking for his second of the match, but his shot is a little bit too high. And we're the only game going on in the Championship at the moment. Are we on the telly? I didn't notice. We must be on the telly. Nathan Curry with an in-swinger, and it's Lay, and it's Alec Lay's second of the game, third of the season. We have a new hero at centre-back, boys and girls. His name is Alec Lay, and I'm not saying it's the end for Harrison Davies yet. Harrison Davies will play for us in the Premier League. Of that, I am sure. He just might not be doing it as our first choice starting centre-back, because Alec Lay he's good. He is good. And so is Joe Barr. It's exciting times. I don't think there are many times that Harrison Davies has been on our bench, but he starts from the bench today. I mean, he is only fit enough to play half a game, so I could have started him, but he'd be coming off at half-time anyway. Worryingly, his injury setback is knocking down some of his attributes, which is a little bit of a problem. I don't want this to be the end, Harrison. It's not that bad an injury. It was only a dislocated shoulder. It's the first major injury of his career. It will recover. He's young enough to recover. But will he recover his place in the side? Who knows? In other news, Danny Pritchard has confirmed his move to Blackpool. He's going to be heading there in January, which means if we go back the last several years, Pritchard is the one who heads there this year. Last year it was Beerif. The year before... Wentin's already gone this year in the summer. Beerif went last year. Whittaker went the year before. Bachelorette Pitetta, of course, 4, 5, 6 years ago now, but back on leaving out his loan with us a year ago now. That's 5 former home players in the Blackpool starting 11. I checked to see if it was any of our former staff managing them. There's not. But they're just assembling a home reserve side in League One, and I am very much here for it, and I'm cheering them on. I want to see those boys do well. What a save from Alex Williams. The other thing about Harrison Davies not being in the team is Williams continues as captain. And my word, has he upped his game even further. I don't know if it's just because he's continuing to get better. Someone mentioned that he's actually touted in-game as the next Peter Shilton. So definitely has some talent. We might actually have a future England goalkeeper here. He didn't move for that one. Brilliant. But I don't know if it's the fact he's the captain. I don't know if it's the fact he's getting older. It's probably a combination of the two. He is raising his game, and it is awesome. That's not Captain Cartwheel involved in goal for them, is it? They've got a Wright in goal. Hold on. No, someone called Harry Wright. That's all right then. The only downside to Williams is his height. I think he's only 5'10", 6'2". Thought he was shorter than that. I'm sure he used to be shorter than that. He probably was. You know how these young people tend to continue to grow. 6'2" is actually fine. I was convinced he was 5'10". I don't know why. I must have a 5'10" goalkeeper in one of my other saves. Jessup now. Coming very far in midfield for someone who started out on the left-hand side for us. Siri seemed feeling the need to get involved, and I don't really know why. Jessup got the ball back again, and it was poor from Jessup. But now we've got Nathan Curry with an opportunity to score a free kick from the edge of the area. We've seen him do this many times before. Curry, what a goal from Nathan Curry. It's his first of the season. It's an absolute beauty. I tell you what, if Harrison Davies does end up dropping out of the side, I know Williams is the captain at the moment, but that man screams captain to me. If he wasn't here on loan, I think he probably already would be. He's a proper leader, and another one who just continues to get better and better. His set piece delivery is second to none in this home side. Whether it's corners, free kicks, long throws, you name it, Nathan Curry is there for it. It's beautiful. And Williams has let another one in. Well, this isn't part of the script. This was supposed to be an Alex Williams love-in today, but he's now conceded 2 goals. I mean, it's not that he's making mistakes, but I don't know. Maybe this is the game saying, Kev, come on now, get Harrison Davies back in the side. Maybe he comes in for the second half. Bar's tiring. I mean, that really does send the message, doesn't it, to these two boys? Yeah, the big lad's coming back. Right, we're going to point the finger. I do expect us to do better in the second half. I'm not going to bring Davies on. You know I don't like changing my centre-backs mid-game. We'll do it if we have to, but there's no excuse to otherwise. That is a weird thing because the long throw actually made it into the penalty area. I have turned long throws off, but I've left them on mixed, so occasionally it does them anyway. But it just hit Jessup and bounced off him when Jessup really could and should be doing better with that chance that he was presenting with. Lay heads forward to Akani, who turns, finds Hodgkinson. Nice ball to Cannon. Back to Hodgkinson again. He's got Cannon ahead of him. Beautiful pass from Kieran Hodgkinson. And there's the finish from Troy Cannon, who fires it home. And these two are starting to form a partnership. Obviously, Jessup, once Hamilton is fit again, Jessup is my main man up front. But Jessup's versatility means that he can head out to the left-hand side for the time being. And meanwhile, two of our homegrown boys are forming a partnership. They came through the same youth team all those years ago. I know I go on about it a lot, but remember, Troy Cannon, Kieran Hodgkinson, Nathan Curry, all three of them came through the same intake of youth players, and they are still playing well for us in the championship. That is a golden generation right there. Williams with the ball forward to Jessup. Jessup turns very slowly again. Jessup's not having a very good game, although he's trying to prove me wrong now as he's charging down the left wing, and he's cut the cross back for Cannon, who hits it quite hard into the arms of the Coventry goalkeeper. And now we've got a corner, and of course it's going to be Nathan Curry once again looking for the slam dunk corner. There's no Harrison Davies. That's your disadvantage of not having him in the team. Lay's only 6'2", as opposed to, is it 6'4", 6'5" for Davies? So Davies is that bit more of a threat from the set pieces. As it stands right now, with a draw, we fall back out of the playoff picture again. It's still very early days. We're there and thereabouts. We're only 3 points off the top of the league, and we've still got time to try and get back into this game and pick up a win. It's going to be Curry again to try and hit another beauty of a free kick. Nathan Curry, he's hit the post that time, and Troy Cannon's there for the rebound, but somehow got himself offside. How has he managed that? Oh, Troy. Oh, Troy, that's sloppy. That's very, very sloppy. But, right, we are gonna make a few changes. There's some tired legs on the pitch again. Nathan Curry is one of them, so we're going to bring on Yerabek for him. I'd like to bring on Stone to play there. Stone, or in fact, see, I was going to bring Davies on and push Lay forward, so we had a proper ball-winning midfielder in there. But actually, we are going to bring Yerabek on, because I'm going to bring Davies on for Barr, who is also tiring. So Harrison Davies makes his return, swap those two over, get Davies back in his preferred position. And then Brewerton can also come off. And we'll do that. I'm wondering if there's a way to shuffle that front four around. I mean, there is. I could bring Hodgkinson back into the midfield, do a 3. We probably don't need to. A draw is fine. We're away against Coventry and a draw is fine. So we don't need to do anything crazy. I will encourage the players a little and see if they've got a winning goal in them from somewhere. It's going to be Tommy Jessup with the in-swinging free kick, looking for Hodgkinson, who heads across to Harrison Davies. Who doubted him? Did you? I never doubted him for a second. Captain Fantastic is back. Harrison Davies. It's his first goal of the season because he's missed so much football. But oh, I love that man. I can talk all I want about replacing him when he's not here. But it's only when he is there that you realise just how much in love with him I am. Harrison Davies scores the goal to put us 3-2 up against Coventry. And that goal would fire us up to 4th in the league, 1 point off the top of the table, 1 goal behind on goal difference, up to 3rd now as it stands. Homer in a promotion push, boys and girls, and it's all thanks to Harrison Davies. He's back. I have no idea what my back four is going to look like for the next game now. That feels like a problem for future Kev. Current Kev, absolutely delighted with what he's just seen. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right. What's going to happen from here? Let's have a look at the fixture list. We're probably going to get through to somewhere in here. We'll do another 6 to 8 games or so. Get about halfway between now and the transfer window opening in January. Panic time because Williams could leave again at that point. But we're looking good. If we go into January, top of the league, surely at that, we're 2nd now. Surely at that point, Williams starts to think, maybe we will go up. Maybe I can play in the Premier League here at home. That's the dream. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.